The park was alive with the hum of summer kids laughing, dogs barking, and the distant thrum of a street musician's guitar. Then, like a thunderclap, Karen's voice shredded the peace. "You don't belong here, kid." Her words, dripping with venom, hit 14-year-old Jamal like a slap. He froze, his skateboard dangling from one hand, his other gripping the edge of a park bench where he'd been sitting, sketching in his notebook. The bench, weathered and graffitied, was one of the few shaded spots in Crestwood Park, a haven for Jamal after school. He'd claimed it fair and square, first come, first served. But Karen, 300 pounds of self-righteous fury in a garish floral dress, had other ideas. Her sisters, Linda and Barb, flanked her like backup singers in a choir of entitlement, their matching perms bobbing as they nodded in approval. "You heard me," Karen snapped, her chins wobbling as she leaned closer, her breath sour with iced coffee. "This is my spot. I deserve it. I've been on my feet all day, and I'm not about to let some kid take what's mine." Her eyes, small and mean, raked over Jamal's worn sneakers and faded hoodie, as if his existence offended her. Jamal's heart pounded, but he didn't budge. He'd dealt with bullies before, schoolyard punks, mostly, but this was different. This was a grown woman, maybe 40, with the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no. Her sisters chimed in, Linda's voice shrill. "Get up, boy. Show some respect." Barb, the quieter one, smirked, muttering, "Kids these days, no manners." The park's usual rhythm faltered. A jogger slowed, earbuds dangling. An elderly man, Mr. Thompson, paused his chess game across the path, his brow furrowing. A young couple pushing a stroller exchanged glances, their whispers sharp with disbelief. Jamal's grip tightened on his skateboard. He wasn't just fighting for a bench. He was fighting for his right to exist in this space, to not be erased by Karen's towering ego. "I was here first," Jamal said, his voice steady but tight, like a wire about to snap. "There's other benches. Why don't you take one of those?" Karen's face reddened, her jowls quivering like a volcano about to erupt. "How dare you talk back to me?" she screeched, loud enough to startle a flock of pigeons. "Do you know who I am? I'm a dues-paying member of the HOA. I keep this neighborhood clean. You think you can just waltz in here with your skateboard and take over?" The word skateboard came out like a slur, and Jamal's stomach twisted. He'd heard that tone before, the kind that coded, "You don't belong," without saying it outright. He glanced around, hoping for an ally, but the crowd was still just watching, their phones creeping out like vultures circling a carcass. Linda stepped forward, her purse swinging like a weapon. "You're causing a scene, kid. Just leave before this gets ugly." "I'm causing a scene?" Jamal shot back, his voice rising now. "You're the ones yelling at me for sitting on a public bench." The tension snapped like a rubber band. Karen lunged, not to hit him, but to grab his notebook, which had fallen to the ground in the chaos. She held it up like a trophy, her sausage fingers crumpling the pages. "What's this? Your little doodles? You think this makes you special?" She tore a page out, a sketch of a dragon Jamal had spent hours on, and let it flutter to the dirt. That was the line. Jamal's fear burned into anger. "Give it back," he yelled, reaching for the notebook. Karen yanked it away, laughing, but her victory was short-lived. Mr. Thompson, the elderly chess player, was already on his feet, hobbling over with surprising speed. "Leave the boy alone," he barked, his voice rough from years of smoking. "You ought to be ashamed, picking on a kid like that." Karen spun on him, her face a mask of indignation. "Mind your business, old man. This is between me and him." But Mr. Thompson wasn't alone. The young couple, now openly filming, stepped closer. The woman, Maria, called out, "You're on camera, lady. Keep going, make it worse for yourself." Karen's sisters faltered, their bravado cracking. Barb tugged at Karen's arm. "Maybe we should just go," she muttered. But Karen was too far gone, her ego a runaway train. "I'm not going anywhere," she bellowed. "This is my park, and I'll sit where I want." She shoved Jamal's shoulder, not hard, but enough to make him stumble. The crowd gasped. Jamal caught himself, his eyes blazing, but he didn't swing back. He didn't need to. The universe, it seemed, had other plans for Karen. From the edge of the park, a police cruiser rolled up, its lights flashing silently. Two officers, a tall woman with a no-nonsense ponytail and a stocky man with a clipboard, stepped out. Someone in the crowd, maybe Maria, maybe the jogger, had called them. Karen didn't notice, too busy waving Jamal's notebook like a flag of conquest. "Ma'am," the female officer, Sergeant Carter, said sharply. "Step away from the boy. Now." Karen froze, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. This isn't what it looks like," she stammered. "He stole my spot. I was just—" "Save it," Sergeant Carter cut in, her eyes narrowing. "We got a call about a disturbance. You're assaulting a minor and damaging his property. That's not a good look." The crowd murmured, phones still rolling. Linda and Barb backed away, suddenly very interested in their sandals. Karen, though, doubled down. "Assault? Assault? I barely touched him. He's the one causing trouble. Him and his kind." The word landed like a bomb. The crowd's murmurs turned to shouts. "Racist," someone yelled. Jamal's jaw tightened, but he stood tall, his skateboard a shield at his side. Sergeant Carter's face hardened. "Turn around," she said, pulling out handcuffs. "You're under arrest for assault and disorderly conduct." Karen's scream could have shattered glass. "Arrest? Me? I'm a victim. I'm a respectable woman." Her sisters tried to intervene, babbling excuses, but the male officer, Officer Ruiz, waved them off. "You two can either calm down or join her," he said flatly. As the cuffs clicked around Karen's wrists, she wailed, her floral dress catching on a bench as she thrashed. The torn page of Jamal's notebook lay in the dirt, a silent witness to her downfall. The crowd erupted in cheers, not for cruelty, but for justice. Mr. Thompson clapped Jamal on the shoulder. "You did good, son. Don't let folks like that dim your light." Maria, still filming, handed Jamal his notebook. "You're gonna be okay," she said softly. "This is going viral. People need to see this." Jamal nodded, his throat tight. He didn't care about viral videos. He just wanted his dragon sketch back, whole and uncrumpled. But as he watched Karen being led to the cruiser, still screeching about her rights, he felt something shift. He'd stood his ground. He'd won, not by fighting, but by enduring. The park settled back into its rhythm as the cruiser pulled away. Karen's sisters slunk off, avoiding eye contact. Jamal sat back on the bench, and opened his notebook. The torn page was gone, but he started a new sketch of Phoenix, rising from ashes. Sometimes, the world bends toward justice. Sometimes, the Karens of the world learn the hard way. Entitlement doesn't win. Compassion does. Courage does. And a kid with a skateboard, refusing to back down, does. The end.